Hello, everyone. Welcome to another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the werewolf venue. In this scene, we have our cubs. This is the first time in an actual scene that we've had all the cubs together with the den mother. Though I'm sure it's not the first time ever that they've all been together. It's just the first time we've done an actual scene for it. So yeah, we have the cubs gathered, let's just say on sept for ease of location. And yep. So I imagine Dazzle's probably brought pounds with her, and then fries too, most likely. And then Abby probably brought Delia.
Bounce is mostly sniffing around, trying to catch all these still kind of strange new scents. And then, yeah, just kind of flops down at some point and just waits for the rest of them to yeah. She's not quite sure what's going to happen now, so.
If Dazzles will actually sit next to her. She won't pet her or anything, but she just kind of sits there as sort of a comforting. She gives off a very maternal vibe. And I'm just going to assume that everyone is already there, and she'll just look to everybody. She'll say, "So, how are we all adjusting?" It's like the daily check-in.
A lot of new information to try to digest.
She nods.
So, I have a quick question. Something was brought up in a little social time we had with some of the other here. So, out of curiosity, where are there any resources available, like books or people that I could get more information about points of law for the litany?
Oh, yes. I have a library that I have my own records that I've kept, and some others that I've obtained over the years. And you can talk to other Philodoxes on Sept. One of them is my son. His name's Bailey. And so, yeah, she smiles. There are a lot of resources for that.
I will have to spend some time digging through that.
My library is always open. It's at the place closer to the city, just because that's an easier place to keep it, and to keep it a bit more guarded, because that's where we spend most of our time.
Okay.
So Delia probably would have noticed, because she hasn't been there terribly long, but she probably would have noticed that there are other rooms, and she could probably guess that one of those in a door that she hasn't opened is the library.
Fair enough.
Dazzles will make sure to show her exactly where it's at when they get back.
Awesome.
I usually mention that because that's a thing that's always been with this character, is that that's like her version of being a Galliard, is transmitting oral things to written record to help the cubs learn things. That's her kind of version of storytelling. is to write them down and have them available as resources. So.
Okay, and you do notice that she has a tendency to stick her nose in a book when she has available time.
Yeah, for sure. She will make sure to provide her with a lot of reading material. And she looks to Fries. How about you?
Well, it's different getting to see. Well, getting to see the city. Though, can be hard to navigate.
She nods.
Sometimes I feel like it's easier to get up back, like go to one of the drains and go back into the drains and go through there to find places in the city.
She chuckles a little bit.
Why would you want to go to city?
I mean,
there's good food there.
Like eclairs. Delicious eclairs.
She blinks just a little bit. She looks over at Fries. And where are you getting these eclairs?
Well, they throw them away in like big old boxes and bags, and so you can kind of just like go grab them. They're just right next to one of the entrances to the sewer. So
in the big green box?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She just nods. She doesn't say anything else. Her inner monologue is, yep, typical Bodnar.
She gets this look on her face of, yeah, I've done that a couple times.
Pounce has no idea what these green boxes are. He stretches and is like, but there is no food to hunt here. Not much.
No, unfortunately. I mean, I can take you hunting. There are some things that you can get. But for the most part, our food is hunted for us. Which I know seems very weird.
Yes. It's weird to... When I was in Big Forest, we did get our own food. Then later, when I was not in Forest, but in Strange Box, then they gave food. Now I'm not in Box, but they still give food. Are your people like people who did the Box thing?
I look kind of confused a little bit.
We're not keeping you in a box. No. Well, at least not like they did. There will be times you'll have to be confined. You'd be in your Hamid form, most likely.
Why is everybody always on two legs?
Because we have to intermingle with the rest of society. And that is the best way to do so.
And I'm not
Ireland.
comfortable on 4 legs yet. I have a tendency to trip on my own feet.
4 legs is easier.
For you, maybe?
And Ireland doesn't have any native wolves. So for someone to see a wolf would be really, really jarring. It would startle them a lot.
What is in Ireland? Can you
That's
eat
where
it?
we are. No, it is a country in Europe. And for those who recognize accents, Pounce probably wouldn't. She does
Nope.
speak with an accent. I just can't do it right now. Sometimes I can, but a lot of the times I can't. But she has just a very light Spanish accent, and you could, for Delia at least, could infer that Spanish is her native language. But she speaks English very, very well. She's very fluent in English. But right now and even in her Garu tongue, she has that little bit of an accent. But she definitely doesn't have the Irish accent that the native that the native Irish have. So yeah, it is so the split up into countries. And then have different people who oversee the different countries. And we are in a country called
So
Ireland.
you put the land in boxes as well.
She just nods. Like, yep, that's pretty that's pretty much it.
We tend to like to categorize things, yes.
Humans like to, yes,
Label?
what she said, label, categorize, put boundaries. It makes things easier to understand for them.
I don't understand.
You will in time. It's a lot to take in. So have any of you practiced shifting to your other forms?
Not since I got here.
I mean, yeah.
She just kind of looks at Fries and furrows her brow a little bit. You have this weird thing where you just kind of do it randomly, which we need to work with you on getting a handle on that. She looks to Pounce. I know you don't like to leave wolf form.
No. I tried 2 legs. I don't fall over. I don't like.
I've seen you on 2 legs.
Yes. But I don't like. 4 legs is better. You're faster, more strength in 4 legs.
I suppose I will
Yeah.
get better with it the more I practice.
And I have a tail.
Yeah, that
Being
causes no
human.
amounts of trouble. All sorts of trouble for me.
That is because you are used to silly.
We're all generally most comfortable in what grew up as. Pounce here has only had a form other than wolf for what? Less than a month?
Same-ish.
She nods.
Yeah, right around
So
that.
you all changed around the same time. That's interesting. Pounce and Fries changed in the same day.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I guess I got a leg up on either because I'm used to walking around with Tell and occasionally having to be on all fours, but also on the two legs.
Is Abby still around?
Dazzles just kind of looks at Fries.
Well, like being on all four or on just two legs, I mean, I did both.
Learned about Metis yet? It's kind of a general question for everybody.
Maybe very little. I've heard the term.
Yes. I heard the same thing. I don't like it.
I do know, do not mention them to the Fiona.
Fiona with Wooden Howl thing said they have cages here in Sept.
The one with the violin.
Yes, Wooden Howl box.
Yes, it does kind of sound like that.
I want to see cages. We're doing a technical difficulty song. Technical difficulty song. Technical difficulty
Oh
song.
no, we lost the Lindsay.
Technical difficulty song. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. But for now, we're singing the technical difficulty song.
There she is.
It might not take long. Technical difficulty song. I really hope that because I don't have any more inspiration. This was a very, very flawed piece of song.
Yeah, none of us are Galliards.
Yeah, no.
No.
None of us are Galliards in real life, probably.
Not unless I absolutely have to be.
I mean, I can play several instruments, but I'm not very good at the storytelling thing, although I am a storyteller.
Same. And there she goes again.
More technical difficulties. See, I'm a theurge through and through. Oh no, she sent something to the Facebook chat.
She says her internet's freaking out.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. She's back. Hopefully technical difficulties is resolved. Or less bad. No! Technical difficulties everywhere. No.
Of course, as soon as I go to grab my earbuds, it starts working again.
Of course.
You threaten them.
I can hear now. Okay, so the question that she had asked over here was if yet.
You kind of broke up there. Can you repeat that question?
Yeah.
She had asked if they had learned about Metis yet.
I've heard the term, and I know not to mention them around Fianna.
Yes. I heard as well from
Fianna.
From guy with the wooden howl box.
He got rather upset because someone asked him about Metis.
Yes, some Fianna are really sensitive about it because they are a very passionate tribe and tend to make the most of them. Metis are Garn of two Garu, violated the first law of the litany, which is Garu shall not mate with other Garu, because the result is a child or pup or baby, whatever you would like to call it, born in its Krynos form.
That cannot be very comfortable for the mother.
No, and a lot of mothers do not survive. It literally claws its way out. So it can a lot of even though we can regenerate, it sometimes regenerate fast enough for the damage that it's causing, because those little claws are still deal amounts of damage. So it is highly discouraged that Garu mate with each other, and that's why there's a law against it. The resulting child is not only born in Krynos, but has some sort of deformity and cannot bear children.
I look around for Abby, making a mental note to ask her what our tribe thinks of that.
That, yeah, she's sitting nearby, and she just gives her, there's going to be a conversation later. However, I don't believe that we should punish the Metis for existing, because it is not their fault. And yes, some of their deformities do make it difficult for them to be efficient in some things, and a lot of tribes will look down on them for that and have them work extra hard. The Fianna are harder on them because they see what they've done wrong in them.
So it's like a constant reminder.
Yes, that they can become too passionate with themselves. Not all Fianna think that way, but a lot of more traditional Fianna do. The ones that we have here tend to be a little bit more on the moderate side, but still, I guess, expect more out of them.
Joshua with the wooden howl box said there were cages here to put Metis in. Where
She
are the cages?
narrows her eyes. There are no cages here, and if I ever see a cage here, I will be really upset. Like, her mood instantly changes, like, no, that is not a thing that will happen. She does not believe in putting any Garu in cages.
I'm gonna hunt cages.
She nods. You see any cages, you destroy them.
Yes. With my claws and my teeth.
Yes.
They are stronger than cages.
Yes, they are. You proved that one already.
Yes.
So. But some metis, you can't tell that they're metis because their deformity isn't always physical. Or outwardly physical.
If Metis or any cub or human is weak, then they will die. Pack does not. If wolf is not strong enough, they will die. They will be left behind because they can endanger the others. If it's strong enough, then they will be strong wolves and they will be part of pack.
She nods. That is a very good way to look at it, yes. Most metis that survive to their first changes have already proven that they are strong enough to survive. And then if they keep surviving, then they can keep up with the rest of us.
Also, human.
Humans too. Absolutely. Because it's not just metis that can have problems. Anyone can. Anyone can be born with problems.
Yes, everybody needs to be strong as the wolves.
Yes. She agrees with that, actually.
I mean, there's a lot of pride in Pounds. She's actually going to sit up a little bit and be like, yes, I'm better than all of you.
All hail the wolf. That was out of character, by the way.
Pounds will accept your hails.
That is so funny.
Delia just kind of watches. Oh, it's like watching a tennis game.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. You'll notice she doesn't say much, but she listens to everything.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, Pounce.
Auspice.
You don't know what yours is?
Yes. When Delia was in with me and others, and we were talking about auspice, and they explained auspices, but I don't know, and I might need to know to learn.
Oh. I apologize. I did not know that you didn't know what your auspice is. I happen to know what your auspice is. You were born under the crescent moon. You are a theurge.
How you know?
When you arrived, we used a gift on you called Scent of the True Form, which tells us what you are and what your auspice is.
Pound's just gonna, swing her head around and kind of sniff herself. I don't sense true form.
You are also from a tribe called Uktena.
Yes, they say that. I don't know.
Which we can smell that without the gift. Everyone who is from strong blood of a tribe smells like that tribe. And even if they choose a different tribe than the tribe they were born as, there's still that faint scent of what they were before, especially if their blood was very strong. For those that know what it smells like, would be able to tell that I was born a Shadow Lord.
So you will always carry that scent?
Yes. Very faintly, because I did not... If I joined the tribe, it would be much, much stronger. But I did not join that tribe. I joined the Children of Gaia. So I will always carry the faint scent of the tribe I was born as, which I do not hide. I don't... I'm not ashamed of it or anything like that. I still carry a very strong heritage of the tribe of my birth, and I married a kinfolk from that tribe. My son joined the tribe. It just was not for me. I chose a different path.
Fair enough.
I will be right back. So talk amongst yourself for just a minute.
Bring back pizza.
Pizza's good.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I have not found pizza to hunt, but pizza is brought sometimes and is good.
You don't hunt pizza unless you calling up the local pizza shop and having them deliver it to you. Hunting.
How?
No, you can actually hunt them in some of the green boxes.
She wrinkles her nose again. Not unless I absolutely have to.
How do I call pizza place hunt?
Well, it'd be really odd for them to hear you on the phone, and it would be really not easy for you to dial with your paws. You'd have to do it on two legs.
Hans is thinking about this. Like you can almost see the wires in her head. It's like,
You can see the ticker tape going across the face.
Yeah.
Okay, I am
back.
back.
Is it used for hummus?
I'm back. What did I miss?
You're talking about ordering pizza and how odd it would be for her to try to dial with her paw.
Yeah, and they said that you can't hunt pizza where Fries is just like, you can hunt pizza inside the green boxes.
If Fries wants to take Pounds hunting for pizza in the dumpsters, I am here for that shit. Not tonight, but that could be a scene that would happen. Absolutely.
I think at
dumpster
that point,
hunting.
I would just go buy a frozen pizza.
Oh, wait till we show Pounds how stoves work. Holy crap.
This is gonna be fun.
The blue fire.
Oh god, you know what the worst part is? Because of where Fries grew up, Fries probably hasn't seen a stove.
You know, that's fair. He probably hasn't. He just probably thinks that food comes that way. Like, he doesn't know what cooking is. I mean, and even if he had seen it growing up, he probably doesn't remember it now.
I mean, he's more likely to remember, like, the trash barrel fires cooking.
Okay, that's fair. Roasting hot dogs over the...
Or a can of beans.
Over the trash fire. He knows what a trash fire is.
Yeah.
He's like, stove? What's that? So anyway, yeah, so Dazzles just says, so yes, part of your education will be to learn about each tribe and make the best decision that you can. I don't want you to feel obligated to join any certain tribe. Just kind of go with what calls to you.
Pizza.
I laugh.
The
I don't
tribe
think
of
there's a tribe called
pizza.
pizza, although that might be interesting. I might be interested in that one. But
The
yeah.
closest to the pizza tribe we have is the Bonars.
I kind of sort of feel a strong pull toward the Black Furies from what I've heard.
She nods.
Well, Mama Rat's pretty accepting.
I don't know about tribe. I want to learn about
Yes, she has a.
things.
She Dazzles nods to Pounce, and she says, have they in character given her a name yet?
No.
She's actually been called Pounds by Joshua, but hey,
Okay.
like they already said, like, okay, you need like a Homid name, where Pounds was like, Pounds is my Homid name.
Pounce is my Homid name.
We can call her Pounce. Be like
That's
a nickname.
Totally fine, yeah. I just so because I know Dazzle's called her Pounce once too, and I'm like, wait, had she actually said? Okay,
No.
so
Now Pounce always like if Pounce talks about herself, she's talking about me.
right.
So if Pounce should have said that she had a name, it would be me. You know.
Right.
But then Joshua was like, "Okay, I will call you Pounce." And I was like,
It got
okay.
it got discussed a little bit during that social scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, kind of disregard that she had said that earlier. She wouldn't have, because she doesn't know what to call her by. So she kind of looks at Pounce and the others. Do you have any sort of name that you go by?
Joshua with the wooden howl box said, "My name should be Pounce."
She smiles.
Don't know about name. Names are Homid thing.
They are, yes. We tend to go by, if we don't go by our Hamid names, we go by DiD names. A lot of people call me Dazzles instead of Alyssa, which she shrugs. I've had that name for the last like 20 years, so I've become very accustomed to it. Even in public, people will call me that, and it doesn't really faze anybody, because Hamids and humans give each other nicknames all the time. So Pounce is perfectly acceptable, and we can use that for now until such time as you get a deep name.
Yes.
So exactly how do you get that DiD name? It was they said a few things about it, but it wasn't really explained.
DiD names are generally given when you have done something extraordinary and it is witnessed by another, and they think that it deserves a name. So they will name you after the deed that that they believe was worthy of giving a name to. It'll usually be either directly related to it or in reference to it, or some sort of neat wordplay. but it always pertains to the certain act that was deemed worthy enough to give you a name for.
Okay.
Cubs generally don't get deed names until they become Cleath. Sometimes they'll get one from your rite of passage, not all the time. I've known some Garu that don't get a deed name until they become Fostern. It just depends on who you're around and who sees what you've done. And it's generally a Galliard that will give you a deed name, but anybody really can give you one. I'm not going to dispute it if someone else wants to give you a deed name.
Okay.
So, but yeah, because I think the reason it's generally accepted that the reason why Galliards are the ones that tend to give deed names the most is because we are the ones that carry on the stories, and we retell stories and interpret things and keep that stuff going. So retelling the deeds and witnessing what people do is kind of what we do.
Okay.
So I think the best way to probably remember the basics of what each auspice does is Ragabashes are scouts and questioners. Theurges are spiritualists. They deal the most with spirits in the Umbra. The Umbra is what we call the spirit world.
She nods.
Philodoxes are the ones that interpret, remember, and enforce the litany the most. And make sure that everybody, follows it, which is where the enforcement comes in, and punish if need be. If a Philodox of lower rank, like say you witness something that you believe it goes blatantly against the litany, then you can bring it to a Philodox of higher rank, and you can confer on what that Gar's punishment should be, or lack thereof.
Okay.
Depending. Especially since right now you are a cub, so making a snap decision isn't something that it's not explicitly against any rules, it's just something that's very frowned upon. You should always bring it to somebody of higher rank. I would suggest probably at least Fostern right now. The truth catcher does not always need to be involved. That is for major offenses. Like if somebody majorly violated one of the laws that we very much consider to be one that you should not break, like the first one, then that's when the really higher ranking Philodoxes we could get involved, like the truth catcher.
She looks rather thoughtful.
And then Galliards are the lore keepers and storytellers, and we're also kind of the support team. We make sure that everyone's morale is kept up, especially if we're in combat, if we're in a heated battle and maybe we're losing and everybody is feeling kind of down, then the Galliards can lift their spirits back up and keep them fighting. And then our runes are considered the warriors. We're all warriors, but they are the ones that are generally on the front lines, leading
more specialized.
the charge. Yes, more specialized. And they have their own forms of keeping morale up as well. But just keep in mind, any auspice can be a leader. It does not always have to be an Arun or a Galliard. It can be a Ragabash, can be a Theurge, can be a Philodox. Any of us can lead. Any of us can be effective, but we do have our specialized things that we do.
Aren't Theurges also sometimes like medics, kind of.
Healers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Theurges are generally healers as well. They kind of, when we're in like a battle situation, they will kind of hang back and make sure that everybody is healing if they're wounded. If they can't heal it themselves, generally, if you're a lot of the things that we fight, you won't be able to heal it fast enough, so you'll need healing from either a Theurge's natural healing abilities or a Talon. We have a Talons called Gaia's Breaths, which you can bind spirits of healing into generally some sort of friable object that can be broken easily, but not too easily. So I like to use like hollowed out squashes, gourds. And then you can bind the spirit into it, and then you just break it on somebody to heal them. The easiest spirits of healing to get are earth spirits and water spirits.
Okay.
Wait. Doesn't that mean that you could technically use the hard bottle Coke? I mean, those are pretty.
Bottle?
Like
Wouldn't that do more damage?
glass
than
bottle? I would not use a glass bottle. No.
Well, I mean, they break pretty easily.
But they would also
Yes,
cut.
but they cut you. You would be doing no. You want to use something softer but breakable, like vegetables with thicker hides are a really good. The most common one that we use is gourds. Any kind of gourd. Those are the best ones because there's, especially the smaller ones, like around Halloween time, I like to use the little tiny pumpkins.
Yeah, pictures of jack-o'-lanterns being thrown at people are going through Delia's head right now.
Yep, that's exactly what, and a smile crosses Dazzle's face. See that's probably the Shadow Lord in her that likes to do that. Yes, and even though I am a Galliard, I'm also a child of Gaia, and children of Gaia, a tribe as a whole that we're considered healers and mediators between other tribes and things like that. So I know a lot of ways to heal people. So just as each auspice has a purpose, each tribe has a purpose that they're supposed to fulfill as well.
Where do I learn more about spirits and how to use them?
Well, I can teach you a great deal, but you can also go to any Theurge on Sept, the keeper of the land. His name is Nathan O'Brien. He is the one who tends the spirits on Sept and looks after the shrines and things like that. You could probably learn a whole lot from him. He is a Fianna. A really nice Fianna.
Do I need to walk on two legs?
I don't believe so. He's usually here on Sept. He's one of the few that stays here most of the time. And you can also talk with the Right Master. His name is Adam. He's actually my packmate. And you can learn a lot from him as well. He is a glasswalker. But he is not one of those glasswalkers that is really into a lot of technology. He is one of those that likes to help the tribe remember their wild roots. He is DiD retro healer.
Interesting.
Well,
And he's pretty approachable. I think any of you could probably speak with him if you would like to learn more about that aspect and, you know, just him in general if you'd like.
Yes.
but spirits are friends and allies. You don't really control and command them. They're friends.
That's not always true, and that is going to be a hard lesson you are going to learn. Not every spirit is your friend. Some need to be commanded and controlled. Out of character, that is also the Shadow Lord in her.
Oh gosh, yes.
Like, oh my god, I can't believe that came out. Well, there it is.
Well,
but generally, a lot of the spirits that you're going to be dealing with, especially early on in your training, are going to be more friendly.
So I hunt them down and
Training wheels.
and then they work with me.
Yes, that is one
Oh.
way to do it.
Good. Where do I hunt spirits?
In the Umbra, but I would not hunt them without a guide. So make sure that you have somebody with you that is of higher rank.
I have been in Umbra once.
She
I've
nods.
been there. I've been there a few times. Sometimes I know at least one time I was really scared, and I kind of ended up over there.
Oh, I've known others like you when they get really stressed or scared, they tend to slip over to the other side easily. I'm not sure why that happens.
Because they are scared. That makes them weak.
Well,
For or against you, though.
right. That can be tricky. You could end up on the other side when you really don't want to be, especially if there are a lot of really unfriendly things over there,
Oh no.
like the Banes.
Pounce might do a meanie now.
Banes. You can hear the very obvious question mark at the end of that.
Oh, okay. To answer your question, D, Delia has been in the Umbra a couple of times. They did take a moon bridge here, so she knows what a moon bridge is, and she knows like kind of how things look on the other side. Abby didn't go terribly into detail, but she would have pointed out like common spirits, like water spirits and animal spirits and stuff like that. So she's had a little bit of Umbra training, but not a terrible amount.
Okay.
Pounce actually gets up and kind of walks over to Fries and just starts growling. And it's not impressive at all because I rolled my charisma intimidation and I failed. So it's not coming across impressive at all, but she's obviously trying to make Fries somewhat scared. And she's like, because she wants to see this. Like this is really mean, but she just wants to see him.
I watch
hilarious.
what's going on with this with an eyebrow raised.
I guess I should roll my perception, empathy to figure out what she's trying to do.
I
Yes.
mean, she literally fails, so it's not coming off at all.
Oh,
like
yeah. So she just, you don't need to roll. You just know that she tried. It was a valiant attempt at trying to be intimidating, but it's mostly just kind of cute.
Especially with empathy 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
Oh, wait.
you know what?
Shit,
Actually,
no.
you
I
can
forgot
always
to add
botch. So just go
I
ahead
forgot
and.
to add my pure breed to it.
Oh well, then roll 4 more dice. Jeez.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead and roll because you can always botch, Chris.
That's 2 successes now.
Okay.
So she does come off slightly intimidating, like she's. But not
3
enough.
successes.
Yep, she's trying to imitate you. God damn it, English! Fuck, thank you. Intimidate.
Intimidate. So yeah. So and it was a really good attempt too, especially for. You would probably expect that out of a wolf, to be honest. But with 3 successes, you know, you get that that's what she's trying to do. You're not terribly phased by it, but it might startle you just a little bit because it did catch you off guard.
I was gonna say there was no apparent reason for this.
Yeah, none. So you're probably really confused. It's like, why is this happening? Even Dazzles is cocking her head, like, wait a minute, what are you doing? But she's waiting to see how Fries reacts.
I will take a unconscious step back.
Yeah, Abby moves just a little closer to Delia, like, I don't know what's going on here.
I'm used to animals being comfortable around me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where Fries is. Oh god, this is actually one of the few times that Naive probably rears its ugly head.
Yes.
It's like tilts his head. It's like, huh? Like, why would she be trying to scare him? That doesn't make sense.
Especially if it's like the huh reply. Pounds is just gonna, step on it, and it's just really like literally. Is he sitting down actually?
Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna push her with her front paws, like against his shoulders, kind of toppling him backwards, and with her full weight, kind of leaning on top of him, and her face gets closer and closer. She's like growling more and more, showing her teeth, ears like kind of flat, hackles raised, and it's trying to come off even. Oh wow! Yeah, she's coming off a lot more intimidating now. That's 5 successes. Yeah, that's 5 successes.
Oh boy, that's a lot of successes.
Right?
Right?
Should have had those when it really mattered, which is not now.
So, make Chris, make me a willpower roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that means that you don't auto fox frenzy, because I was going to have you do that if you failed. So
I assume not auto fox frenzy, but roll for frenzy.
no, I was going to have you the ST can call for an automatic frenzy if the situation warrants it, because that was a 5 success intimidation. You would have fox frenzied had you not succeeded in that roll. So yeah, that's a scary wolf, and Dazzles is now on her feet and is kind of like she's waiting to see what's going on, and she will actually calmly say, "Pounce, are you okay?"
What's the difficulty of the gauntlet here?
4.
Okay.
Oh yeah, roll me your roll me your slipped sideways.
Yes.
Another
But
sword,
the flaw is difficulty 7. It does not matter what the gauntlet rating is.
Actually, it says the flaw says gauntlet rating is reduced by 1.
Okay, then
Which means this is almost guaranteed to, like, throw me to the other side.
no. Hang on a second. Flaws supernatural.
With this, I will take another step toward Abby.
Yep, Abby is
It's a
taking
what's
another
a
step
roll to 7 to
towards
avoid
her.
making a shift.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't want to slip into the Umbra, then you have to.
And it's a wits occult. Okay, I'll roll my wits occult first.
Okay.
Just to see what that is. 2 successes.
Okay, and then roll in order to overcome the gauntlet, you must still roll your gnosis, but the difficulty is 1 less than usual.
Yeah, I think because I succeeded, I'm not forced to make the shift.
Right.
But I'm still going to roll against the gauntlet.
Yep.
And I got enough for an instant shift.
If you want to. You don't have to.
Oh, no. Fry was going to intentionally shift to the other side.
Oh. Okay. I
Just
wanted to see what was going to happen, but all right.
It's kind of like, you're growling at me. Guess what I can do? Nope, I'm not here.
So Fries disappears.
Pounds kind of, lands on the ground and looks around. And then, that intimidating growling is just kind of gone, and her tail just whacks up and starts whacking left and right. And she looks so goddamn proud of herself. Like, I made him disappear. I won.
So Dazzles just starts fucking laughing. Like, oh my god, you just wanted to see his reaction.
Yes.
And I look between Abby, Dazzles, and Pounce. With this look
Abby relaxes.
What did I just see?
Abby relaxes and she says to Delia, you just saw a wolf being a wolf. She wanted to see his reaction on what he would do if a wolf came at him the way that she did. And, well, he disappeared. And Dazzles is just losing her shit. Like, she actually will pet Pounce on the head, like, oh my god.
I am still mixed.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Just a big sigh. Eyes roll.
Yeah, and Abby sighs too, like, oh my
god. I looked at Abby and I'm like, I feel like I'm back in kindergarten.
Yup. That's exactly how Pounce is behaving, by the way.
Yeah. I'll show Abby's overlay real quick. So everyone knows what she looks like. If I can get it to shift over.
Yep. It's also been a little over 30 seconds since I made the roll to step back. So this should also be about the time that Fries reappears.
And my minicam crashed. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
You're just having all sorts of technical difficulties over there.
I am, and it sucks. So yeah, Abby is just like shaking her head, like, oh my god. Okay, there, we're back. Here is what she looks like. That's Abby. She's just been kind of hanging out back a ways, letting the dead mother do her thing, but everyone will notice that she's never very far away from Delia. Even if I'm not there to play her in the scene, she's probably around somewhere. She does not let her get too far out of her sight. So
Yeah.
so Dazzle's just she doesn't like, if she gives her just like this loving pat on the head and scratches her neck just a little bit. It's like, yep, you sure showed him. And probably by that time, Fries would then pop back, right?
Yep, where he pops back with Beatley going, boo! She's going to be tempted. That be charisma or manipulation intimidation?
Charisma.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Not that it matters.
Uh-oh.
It's the same dice pool either way.
Are you sure?
It's the same amount of dice, but it does matter because of the effect.
No successes.
That's great.
A 10 and a 1.
Go, Sasuke. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll, because there is a chance you could botch.
Okay. What do you want? Willpower or perception or what?
Oh, willpower. Yeah, give me a willpower roll.
Okay. So I was gonna say perception. Wow. Willpower. I got a 9 and a 10.
Yeah. So because you were kind of still watching the spot where he disappeared, you were slightly distracted by the pets and scratches that Dazzles was giving, but you still kind of had your eye on that spot, and he pops back, and you're not fazed by it.
Pounce just, looks up at Fries. It's like, yes, I am better than you are.
Really just shakes her head and goes, "Yep, kindergarten."
Dazzles just kind of nods and shakes her head like, yep, typical cub behavior, especially from a lupus. Like, that's her thought process. That's not what she's saying out loud, but that is kind of like her thought process. And she'll look to Fries and she'll say, she got you this time.
What? That I sidestep?
She scared you. She scared you enough that you left. You disappeared. So that means that she won. It's how wolves communicate with each other, is by that sort of subtle intimidation. And she was demonstrating that she's stronger than you right now.
Bounce is just looking at Fries with, like, tail still, like, going left, going right. Like, she's ready to pounce if he would try to retaliate, but it's more playful now. It's not as, she's not trying to come across intimidating.
Yeah, she wants to play.
Yes.
Puppy wants to play. If we want, we could end this scene with everybody shifting to Lupus and just kind of having a nice little roughhousing time.
Yeah, and me tripping over my 4 feet.
This sounds like excellent fun.
Yeah, yes, I think that would be great.
The problem would be is that everyone but Pounce does ag and Lupus. And so they have to be extra careful.
No. Lethal.
Yeah.
The only form that does ag damage is Krynos.
What you mean,
and
Chris, is
that
that everyone can soak ag.
Yes, everyone can soak ag in Lupus except Pounce. You can't soak ag in your breed form unless you're Metis, which is like the one trade-off that they get for being Metis. But yeah, no, Lupus claws only.
Again, we can always regen.
Lupus claws only deal lethal damage. Hispo and Krynos claws deal ag. So yeah, Dazzles will just shift to Lupus, and she'll encourage everybody else to do the same, and we'll kind of do the playful roughhousing that wolves do.
And
That
I
will
am
make
awkward
Bounce
as
very-
all get out.
Bounce will be
Even
extremely
Abby,
happy.
even Abby will join in and give Delia encouragement with that as well.
Yeah, where Fries will, kind of like hit Lupus mid-jump because...
Yep, he's still getting a handle on his forms, but he's getting better.
But it's just like, jump, Lupus!
Whee! And I think with that, with everybody having a nice little roughhousing time, we will go ahead and end this scene. So thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time. Bye-bye!